Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. This is Katrina with Sow and Tare, the live chat. Hope everybody's doing good. um, I have been gone a while, and that's okay. Hopefully, my computer stuff is better. Um, Looks like the quality is not that great of the video right now, but that's okay. It's okay. Um, Hopefully, you guys can all see and hear. So, if you are new to the live chat, this is something that happens every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you. And 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we talk about all sorts of topics homesteading related. So I always start with the comments, and we have lots of hellos and how are yous, and then we move into topics of discussion that you guys bring to the table. And I always have a pre-planned topic of discussion partway in. So let's get started. These are not clean. So first up, Verna's here. Vade's Place. Hey, Katrina, fourth like and third comment. I did not see the first, second, or third comments. You're the first one. So if I missed someone before then, I'm going to say hello to you now. Verna is Vade's Place. She's the moderator on these live chats, and she catches all the bad guys. If you like to learn about growing self-sufficiently in an apartment setting, check out her channel. All right. And apparently Ed and Dawn were before her. So hello, Ed and Dawn. Even though I can't see your comments, hello. And this is not working. Manuel, can I have like a t-shirt or something? Because this isn't working. All right. And Dawn's here. Hi, Dawn. Verna says she's trying to start. I am trying to start. Yeah. Verna says, after this chat, I have to finish uploading a video. Nice. I know I saw you had your garden video recently, which is good. I had family in town, so that's why not involved in a lot of things this weekend. Just started up the headsets, Dawn says. Okay. And Dawn says, have to catch your video tomorrow, Verna. I get off at 9 Central for the night. Hey, that's all right. Bedtime, right? Hey, Buster's here. Welcome, Buster. Hope you're doing well. And Silver Creek Aquatic says, oop, you bounced. Hey, just a minute. Hiya, howdy, y'all. Hi, Silver Creek Aquatics. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. Linda's here. Welcome, Linda. Saying hi, Verna. Hi, Dawn. And everybody's saying hi. Dawn says, I have a recipe for turmeric, but I just heard if you cook it, that it degrades with heat dramatically. I thought it was okay to cook with it. I'm sure they do in India. I have not heard that it degrades. I mean, every food is going to degrade some when heated. So, and there are going to be some chemical changes that happen to all foods, either positive or negatively with heat. But I do not know specifically for turmeric. Turmeric is good though. And whenever I cook with turmeric, I always add black pepper because black pepper and turmeric bring out each other's strengths and amplify them. So that is fun. And they both taste good. People saying hello. Oh, you're doing a mail call, Verna. Ed's here, says hi. All right. Everybody's saying hi. I'm saying good to see you. Good. You guys are on. We have a small crowd today, probably because I haven't been active this week. I didn't get a reminder out. I usually do for the weekend review, and I didn't do that. If you didn't see today, I went on a walk with my parents down by the river, and I did do a short on rose hips and showed you what that looks like. So if you are unfamiliar with rose hips, I did bring them up in the foraging video that I did. And now is the time when the rose hips are starting to get ripe in my area. So start looking for those. And if you are in a cooler climate, it will probably be a while yet before you get rose hips. Yeah. Oh, Verna says, could be that everyone is feeling like I feel. LOL. Sinus migraines. Verna, I'm sorry. Um, needs to get some mint to open up your sinuses. Yeah, that's no fun. Yeah, I've been relaxing. My parents were in town, and I took some time off work, so that was helpful and restful. So yeah, my goodness, you guys are done talking already, huh? So what's happening this week? Meatball is going to get a nest box right after this live, so she will be having babies probably before the weekend or at the weekend, around the weekend time. And Meatball is a mama bunny, or she's going to be a mama bunny again. And next weekend we are planning on processing the grow out rabbits. That'll be 12 weeks then, and that's when we process is 12 weeks here. People process anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the growth rate and variety and all that stuff. So that is what we have on the docket next weekend. And Miss Tortellini's 2 babies are doing fabulous. They got to meet lots of people this weekend that came over. And they are 4 weeks old, about a little more now, 4 weeks old. So, yeah. They are going to stay with mom. I'm not going to separate them because we're not rebreeding Tortellini in this heat. So she won't be rered until end of August or in September, depending on the temperatures. And so she'll just share with her 2 babies. They'll grow up with mom. Meatball has a lot more babies usually, so I'll probably separate them, at some point when after she has this litter, after they get old enough. But yeah, that's what's been going on here. And yeah, there you go. I'm gonna scroll up now. Linda, I hope your hubby's doing good and everything's okay, and that it's not too hot where you are. Vera says, hey, as long as I'm not praying to the porcelain goddess, I'm good. All right, we'll stay away from that. Hey, Steve's here. Greetings from Mississippi. Greetings, Steve. Everybody saying hi. Ed says, open a package of roaster. I never say that word right. I'm sorry. The chicken. I freeze dried. It's so easy to shred. Reconstitute with chicken broth. Made a soup with it with veggies and noodles, all with only 35 milligrams of salt. Awesome. And that's what you can do when you do stuff at home. I mean, you don't have to even freeze dry stuff to cook stuff at home like that. But that is awesome. I'm actually going to be freeze drying some quail. I had a party and I made quail. I actually did a video on making the marinade and cooking it. So you guys will be seeing that at some point. Unfortunately, so I told you guys my computer was going to the doctor, right? Unfortunately, I did lose some videos. They're on the external hard drive that apparently was going bad. That was causing a lot of issues. And one of the ones that I was going to show you guys is no longer there. So I'll have to redo part of that. I refilled the sand baths and was talking about sand baths for quail. So I'll have to redo that. I do have another version of it saved, or another copy of it saved on the computer, but I think probably the file is probably corrupted before I copied it onto there. We'll see. Yeah, but it won't be Thursday until I get a real video out, I think. Recover from having people here. All right. Chuck 3's here. Welcome. Evening all, here from Wisconsin. And Verna's saying that's wonderful, Ed. Yes. Oh, everybody popped in. All right. Oh, so Ed freeze dried it 6 months ago. That is awesome. I bet that feels good to just be able to just open it up, add some moisture, and there you go. Erin's here. Welcome, Erin. Good evening, friends. We are spinning Steve's honey right now. Ooh, sticky, sticky. Good. I want some honey. You can bring honey on the airplane, right? Probably. I don't see why not, right? I don't know. Does that have to be under the so many ounces? I should look into this. Andy Rabbit says hello. Hello. Everybody's saying hi. Dawn says that sounds good. Yummy. Yes, it does. And back a bit. And everybody's saying hi. Jennifer's here. Welcome, Jennifer. Question. Hello, Katrina. Do you know why when some of my quail hatch, they look like they are trying to swim? Do you know what causes that? Are their legs like the side? If that is the case, then their hips have gone out of joint or out of socket, and they need to be get back together. So how you fix it is you can make little hobbles for them, and I would actually look up. I would look it up on the internet, like hobble for quail, and that you'll see the instructions there for that. But how to prevent that is what's happening is they just got out of this egg and their bones are all pretty malleable still. Their joints are malleable still. And what they're doing is they're slipping. So the floor of the incubator can be very slippery. I recommend putting what's it called? A cabinet liner. They have the little tiny squares. It's grippy so that your plates don't slide in the cabinet. And you can put that down in your incubator. It's washable. It's reusable. Some people use blue paper towel during that time, but I do that with the cabinet liner, and it like I said, it's washable. The moisture can come through, the humidity can come through it, and that gives them stability. So that, and then when you transfer them from there to the brooder should also have some sort of non-slip material, and that could be shavings, that could be the grippy stuff, that could even be blue paper towel. If you do the white paper towel, that's still a little bit more slippy for them. And then the thing you're transferring them in should have some sort of non-slippy bottom. So what's happening when they do that is they're actually getting the hip out of joint. And if you put them together with a hobble, that will help them stay upright. The other thing you can do is put them in a shot glass with a cotton ball on the bottom, and you're going to have to hold them because they're going to jump out. But what that does is it strengthens it redirects where their hips are, and then it strengthens their legs. They'll try and hop out so that they can put their legs back underneath them. And if you do that pretty quick, then it's totally curable. If you wait a few days, then it's going to be much harder to get that to come back. So let me know if that's what you mean by swimming. If it's not, then I'm not sure I know what you're talking about, and you can go into more detail. All right. Silver Creek says, I just got a, excuse me, Thai basil water, guys. It's good. Silver Creek says, I just got a connect to get more pigeon. I don't eat them. I just let them more with option get 70 plus. I'm so excited. You need to give them a job on your property. Just have them fly around. Unless maybe they deter things. I don't know that they would deter hawks, but do they do any like predator deterring because they are so active? I don't know. Let's find out. Everybody's saying you're saying hi to people and all the rest of you cool people. Awesome. Rotisserie. Thank you, Verna. Some words, right? Some words we always have trouble saying. And Silver Creek says it again. Or it says it as well. Cool people. Well, I mean, I was there. You're cool too, Steve. It's okay. Don says, are these homing pigeons or ones they use for race and flying? Good question. Both. and the ones he's getting are from a local rescue. Interesting. Erin's laughing at you, Steve. DJ's here. Welcome, welcome. Hello, she says. Grandson tried distracting me with his shows. You had enough of SpongeBob? Or whatever the kids are watching these days. Yeah. Well, you can share with us what they do. If you see any differences in like hawks around you or something like that, that would be interesting for me to know. I'm not planning on raising pigeons, but just an interesting concept. People saying hi. You guys keep jumping. Where are you? There you are. Sue says, as a computer person, I'll have to teach you a new word, backup. So that was one that I had recently put there. So I do have a backup. I do not do it as much as I should. And yes, there we go. But the one that I wanted to share, like I was literally like put it on there and then was going to work on it and then nothing worked. So yes, thank you, Steve. If you have any specific suggestions, that would be helpful. But I do have backups. I just need to use them. Linda says, thanks, Katrina. My husband's doing better. Do you have any suggestions for herbs that can help scars heal? And I hope Manuel is healing up. He's healing up. You want to show him anything? He's sitting over there. No?
Not really, but you can.
You don't have to, but you can.
It doesn't look healed.
It doesn't look healed, he says. He still has pins in it, and he still has, the scab hasn't come off. So just imagine what that looks like. 3 pins coming out to here. I do not know about anything about the scar thing. I think Verna might know something, and if JJ is on here later, she might know something. So if we see her pop up, we can ask her. But I don't know about scars specifically. I know cocoa butter is supposed to be good if you want to smell like cocoa butter. But I don't know. I have well, my time not THYME, TIME is what heals scars. I have a scar on my leg from a crosscut saw. It's another safety lesson. And you can hardly see it now. It used to be, it's like that big, but it used to be really, really obvious, and now it's not as obvious. So we will ask other people. But now, so here's the place to ask, is we have tons of people who know all sorts of stuff. Silver Creek is responding about the pigeons. Probably homers because they are more pudgy. Pudgy's a fun word. Verna, I have not been online today at all. I had my family in, and I haven't done anything online at all except for this. So if you sent me a message, I will have to look at it later. Yeah. Ed says, LOL, welcome to being a YouTuber, Katrina. Lost footage and sound. Uh-oh. Does my sound work now? Yeah. It's something that, so all this happened. Also, that footage, that the one that I know that I lost. I don't know what the other ones are. I just know the most recent one that I lost. And I have the other from the hard drive that's having issues. So maybe it's recoverable by someone other than Best Buy to try. But the SD card, or the mic, whatever it is, the SD card that goes into the camera, that went bad right when this is going bad. So it's like, okay, we're just going to get some new technology here. Yep. Thank you, Ed. Dawn says that is awesome. I knew someone who flew his years ago. It was very interesting. Nice. Steve says, woohoo, honey. So Creek says, it's amazing. I'd love to find a place to reintroduce them so they would go back and forth. I've had them for about 6 years now. I think Dawn's volunteering. Very cool. It's amazing what like how they have this directional map inside their brain that, you know, they just know where they're going, where they're coming from. They just find their way. It's amazing. Yeah. Food and carry on. Yeah, I am not planning on checking baggage. That's my only thing. That's my only thing. As in a friend's house that would want message. Yeah, I got that. I got that. Yeah, and I think so. It's like what Steve says. He said, I'm pretty sure they could consider honey a liquid, so probably yes. It's not dangerous, guys. Except for I'm not going to go shoving it in 1-year-old's mouths. That's only danger, right? Jennifer says yes. So that was the swimming. Yeah, the answer is to have them on non-slip surfaces such as shelf liner, which is pretty cheap, and sometimes you can find it at the dollar store. So it's a good fix. Honestly, I mean, I don't know about if I would do this in the incubator, but like you can use like a T-shirt inside a transfer box, right? Like you can use cloth too. I know of people that use cloth in the brooder, but that's kind of seems like it's going to be really, really nasty to deal with. Don, it was amazing to see him send the pigeon out and then it come back. It was just across the city, but it was quite a wait to get it back. Yeah, that first time you send him out, it must be nerve-wracking. Uh-oh, is it going to come back? Yeah. Verna says rubber shelf liner under the eggs in incubator. Oh, and that happens at lockdown, so you don't need it until lockdown. So when the egg turner is in there, you don't need it, and you can put it in there afterwards. Steve says a skinny Band-Aid or a regular Band-Aid cut into 3 strips is the best brace for a splay leg. Yeah, so Jennifer, we're talking about the legs being out. You can make that hobble out of a Band-Aid that you cut, like hot dog way. We're talking about hot dogs and hamburgers. And you guys jumped. Hang on. Okay, guys. We are talking. Okay, I went too far. Hang on, guys. I gotta find my spot. Oh my gosh. Where was I? Okay, here we go. Dawn says, ha, I incubated the first year and had no idea you could wash the shelf liner. I always threw it out until this year, and it really lasts. Yes, it does. Just wash it with, I wash it with either dish soap, or you can wash it with the half gold Listerine, half water. You can wash it with that too, but it is washable. Silver Creek says, for sure, Don, sometimes they like to have some fun and play around a bit. LOL. That's half the fun of watching them. They will practice and teach each other new techniques. Awesome. Uh-oh. Is anybody else having issues with buffering? If you're having issues with buffering, you can turn the quality down, and that might help. I know we've had that issue before. I have nothing else plugged in except for the light. So it should not be an issue. Dawn says it sounded like it. They heard they're edible too. Yes, birds are edible. Like if you have to cull one or something. Yeah. They fry circles around hawks. Okay, so there you go. And Verna says hawks love pigeons, so we got both ways, huh? PJ says I was bad yesterday. I picked up 2 pea chicks. Oh, do you know if they're boys or girls? I don't know when you can tell with pea chicks. Verna says, "Oh, shame, PJ." Yeah. And Silver Creek says, my pigeons are too fast for the hawks. They seriously fly circles around them. It's wonderful. All right. New lawn ornaments and new alarm clocks, right? New alarm clocks. SO says hawks eat pigeons, not the other way around. Sometimes different species of pigeons are more when they flock together, it can be more scary for a hawk. Can I have a pillow? Oh, I have it over here. I was getting the pillow from behind my back. So Silver Creek says hawks still come around, pigeons don't stop them, but they annoy them, that's for sure. All right. I was on a job site once and there was a mockingbird annoying the heck out of a red-tailed hawk. It was swooping at it. And I'm like, dude, do you really want to do that? I came back and it was being eaten. It's like one swoop too many. Yeah. If they do, they can catch them. Yeah. And Berna says, according to the Arkansas Gazette 45 plus years ago, squab is good eating. Yes, pigeons are good eating. I believe they're light meat. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they're a light meat. Is that right? I'm not sure that's right. I retract that. Somebody tell me. That doesn't make sense. I would think they would be dark. I don't know. Dawn says, I have a friend who is getting into squab, is different kind of pigeon, I think. I was trying to help him locate some a few months ago. Okay. And Silver Creek says, I haven't had a pigeon loss in over 4 years, though. They do great, but they are half racers, too. So that helps. With Alpha, hang on. Alpha mother is a descendant of a multi-world record holder. I think we talked about that before, didn't we? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I get people eat them. I just can't. They're not my cup of tea. I'll eat the quail first, but if I had to, it's a different story. Okay, here's Verna's input on scars, Linda. Cocoa butter, shea butter, and coconut oil frequently rubbed into the scar will help heal it. Thank you, Verna. I knew you knew this. And Verna says they wanted people to eat them to knock down the population in Little Rock. Yeah, so there's actually there's some areas that have like dairies in the valley here in California, and they hire people to trap pigeons, and people eat them, and they're good, but they're considered a nuisance bird in a lot of places for sure. But hey, free food, right? Also, if you're a falconer, then often they look for those types of people to just come out and work on the population that way too. Yeah. So that's good. Steve says you can meet Katrina in person at QuailCon. Only 54 days. Oh my gosh, it's only 54 days? Yes, I will be there. I'm going to be giving hosting a masterclass on aviaries. So if you are interested in aviaries and learning more about them, go to QuailCon. It's an awesome event. It's an awesome event. Verna's going to be giving a talk right before me on introductory to raising quail, and Linda, who is on here, is going to be talking after me and marketing. So that is our little blurb of awesome classes that are happening on the first day. There you go. Thank you, Steve. Silver Creek says, I will say pigeon are ridiculously hardy, though. There are stories upon stories of them being practically mutilated and still making it back home and healing up. Yeah, they have a drive. They have a really big drive to get home. I mean, I wonder what that, why that happens. What makes it so important, And you guys jumped again. Refresh your page, everyone, Verna says. Okay, I'm trying to get back up here. All right. Ed says, is it me or is she buffering on and off? Yeah, try refreshing the page. Hopefully it's fixed by now. It's not on my end, but that's on my end. It's not on your end. So who knows what's happening between what I'm seeing and what you guys are seeing. And if it's still happening, reduce the quality of the video. And hopefully you can still hear. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. Yeah, sorry. And thank you, Verna, for telling people to refresh the page. So Creek says they're almost bulletproof and live for a very long time. They do live for a long time. Ed says, stop it, Steve. You're not ready, Ed? You're not ready? Trina, you could pay him for it and have him ship it to you. Oh, yes, honey. I could. I just might. Just to try it. That sounds good. Yeah, it's probably cheaper to ship it than to pay for a check bag. Probably. Silver Creek says, Don, you in Texas? I'd totally do it within a few hours of me. I know they'd make it back even further, but want to start small. All right. All right. Don says refreshing helped. Good. Silver Creek says squab is a baby pigeon, not a different type. Okay. I did not know that. I thought it was all just, I mean, it is the same bird. I didn't know it was a young one. South Central Illinois is where Don is. That would be an awful long trek. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Silver Creek, you're funny. Steve says, my first hatch, my daughter kept putting t-shirts in the brooder for them. I lost 7 shirts in 7 days. Yeah, you didn't wash them, did you? They went in the trash, probably. Yeah. So people do it. I see people make nice little quilts for them, and it looks really nice. And I do wonder how long they use that method. Some people use puppy pads. I mean, some people use shavings. Some people use they don't use cedar shavings. It's pine. Some people use this is for the quail bedding, like the pine pellets, like for horse bedding. We use blue paper towel, and then after a week, they're on wire, and it falls down, and we squeegee it out. So that's what we do, but and that works fine. Yeah. Dawn says you need to start a shorter distances for the pigeons, but it would be cool to work your way up to sending me one. So cool. So I guess we need a map for Silver. That's an idea. That is an idea. Yeah. So if you're too far the first attempt, totally be able to make it that far. Their navigation is phenomenal. It is. It's phenomenal how the wild birds migrate. I mean, there are hummingbirds that migrate and you can see them on radar because there's so many of them and they're all going the same direction. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Verna's laughing at Steve. Did you explain to her that you can't afford them at that price? Oh, the t-shirts? Yeah. Yeah. All right, Silver Creek, we have a goal for you. Yeah. Given the address, and that's a good point. Yeah, I don't think they take Google Maps, those pigeons. I don't think so. Silver Creek says, PJ Lucky, I love peafowl. Built my aviary up to 12 feet so house them. You're prepared, huh? You got to have big numbers. It's just a few to a half dozen. They're probably going to, okay. So you just have to make sure they're big enough to flock. Yeah. Vera says, you were correct, Katrina, if my memory serves me well. Good. Silver Creek says, I don't know for sure if light or dark, but I think dark from doing necropsies. Yeah, as soon as I said light meat, I'm like, but they fly an awful lot. And that would mean that it would have more oxygen going into those muscles, which would make it dark meat. That's the explanation I've gotten for that. So yeah, I'm like, oh, I think they're nope. Yeah. PJ says the pea chicks are a few months old, I think. Hoping I picked right by coloration. One is darker coloring and slightly bigger. We named them Peabody and Pandora. Awesome. Were you going for a male and a female so you could have chicks? And you guys jumped again. Hang on. Okay. Steve says pigeons are dark meat bird, meaning they have high concentration of myoglobin, the oxygen storing protein. I just said, I should just read your comment. That gives dark meat its unique color and taste. Exactly. Oxygenated meat, right? Don says Google says squab is more like a duck, but cooked like beef. Squab is a pigeon, I know that, but I didn't know the age. It's up to you guys. You may have a female then. Woot! Silver Creek says, yeah, that's why I was asking if you had a goal of male and female. Yeah, and for saying they are dark meat. You going to have a squab pie? Ed says. Makes it even more appetizing. Yeah, I love dark meat, more flavor, more moisture. Yeah, I like dark meat better, for sure. They can live for 20 years. I have a hard time calling them. Yeah, when they live for that long, you can have they're going to be around. Steve says they call it squab when we eat it. Who would eat it if they called it a pigeon? That's a good point. I mean, you eat ham, not pig, right? You eat beef, not cow. I don't know. Do we have an issue in this country with calling things not what they actually are? In other countries, do they call them what they are? That's a good question. Quail's still quail and rabbit's still rabbit. Chicken's still chicken. Don't know. Yeah. They eat milk. Pigeons make a milk to feed their young. It's beautiful and disgusting at the same time. I'll get a short on it next hatch. Interesting. Is it? I will wait for your thing because I know they don't have mammary glands, so it's not that kind of milk. Interesting. Squabs are fat. Okay. Andy Rabbit's back. Does that mean you can't eat steak? Don says, I used blue paper towels for the first 2 days. Then I switched to corncob bedding. Oh, that's a good choice. I think there's also in some parts of the world, sugarcane might also be. I don't know though. Is sugarcane, the shredded stuff, is that sharp? Because I know sugarcane itself is can cut you. So I don't know. Anybody know the answer to that? Because I know in some parts people mulch with sugarcane, like mulch. Yeah. Verna. Hopefully it's okay. Yeah, refreshing didn't help. Oh, okay. So Chris says, yeah, I want to see milk a pigeon. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys are going to have to get an itinerary together. That would be a fun little thing to do. You have to have tiny fingers. Oh my gosh. Andy says, oh, if something had to live for 20 years before I butchered it, there would be no point in having it. Yeah, I don't think he's saying it takes 20 years to get to butchering. I think he's saying that they live 20 years, so he'd rather have them have the life. Yeah, Silver Creek, I think you need to have an itinerary for your pigeons and then share it with everybody. Yeah. Oh, Andy Rabbit's in the middle of two states. Oh, of those two states. So Andy wants to be on the map, right? Fully accept that life feeds on life, but if I have an easier source of protein available, to not call something that's lived a long time. Yep. Yep. Eating a kid. Oh, there you go. Okay, so PJs did get a potentially for a breeding pair. We'll see what they grow into. So cross your fingers for PJ. JJ's here. Hi, all. Hi, JJ. JJ, we had a question earlier that Verna answered, and I think you might have an answer. We'll see if your answer is the same. We're going to use your expertise, hopefully. Linda was asking if there are herbs or other things to use to help heal a scar and maybe make it less scarry. So let us know what your recommendation is. Don says, Andy Rabbit, yes, you are. Now who's between Texas and you? I'm 5 hours from you, but how fast does a bird fly? Oh my gosh, we're getting into Monty Python territory here, right? Do they carry coconuts? Okay, we're done with that. Everybody said hi. Chicken is chicken. Yeah, exactly. Chicken is chicken. But, I mean, how many names are for pigs, right? Pork, ham, bacon, there's a lot. Rhoda says, yeah, in America, we tend to place many things as pets in that in other countries are they call food. Yeah, like your cuy, like your guinea pigs. Yep. For sure. JJ's been busy sleeping. I understand. Ed says squab is a young pigeon being of about 4 weeks old. Okay. Okay. They make milk in their gullet and regurgitate it. I would like to know how that happens. I was thinking it would have to be regurgitation. Yeah, of some sort. But I wonder what's in it. Interesting. And if they're like the only ones that do it. Dawn says, I know I've been really busy making some live streams is my relaxation. Well, I hope you find it relaxing and thoughtful and all that. Yeah. We have fun. Summer Creek says, if I can chew it and swallow it, I'll try it at least. You know what we call that in the biology world? We call that gape limited. Anything that can fit in your gape goes in and gets eaten. All right. Yeah, Verna, like cooing guinea pigs, yeah, for pets versus food. Ed's passing on pigeon milk. Rabbits, yep. JJ says, I like to chop the stalks of the corn and mulch in the fall. My clay soil seems to really like it. Yeah, it likes to be covered, otherwise it's getting hard. Ed Got Bait says glass. I do not know what addition to, but if anybody needs to know, the answer is glass. Oh, it's light glass, sugarcane? Okay. Steve says sugarcane, you peel the outer layer, then you just chew the remaining fibers until there is no flavor. Then you can spit it out. Yes, I'm saying that some people use the leaves of that because what you eat is actually the stalk. So the leaves of that are pretty sharp. Like they're like those sharp grasses, like pampas grass, where you walk by it and you get cut. They're pretty sharp. So I was wondering if the mulch is sharp. Yeah. I did grow that, and I don't grow it anymore because you have to have a special. I wanted the juice, but I didn't want to just chew on stuff. I wanted the juice to use it, but you have to have like a extra special juicer for that, and I didn't want to do that. Silver Creek says, Ed, trust me, I ain't drinking pigeon milk either. A two-legged kid or a four-legged kid. Ed says, Steve, yep, I used to eat it when I lived in Hawaii. Cool. Yeah, I grew a purple variety here for a couple of years, and I just decided it wasn't worth it for what I was actually doing with it. I could grow something else there. Because I am on a small lot. Silver Creek says I have to feed them a special medicated grit for their gut during their feeding season. That way they can produce a healthy milk for their squabs. They're a funny bird, I'm telling you. Sounds like it. It sounds like it. I mean, with squab, people squabble, right? Is that where that name comes from? To feed their young, a macaw will do the same thing to its owner that they are bonded with. But I think what he's talking about is it's something like more than just regurgitation. But I don't know. We will have to wait for his video. Dawn says, when I raised exotic birds that fed their own, I had to make a cornbread with certain things in it so the parents could eat it and then turn it into a liquid feed babies. Interesting. Yeah. Gape limited. Love it. Yep. We call that like some salamanders and some frogs. Like we just say just whatever fits in their mouth they eat. Melissa's here. Welcome. She says hi. Welcome. If you have any comments or questions about anything homestead related, go ahead and put it in there in discussion. We bounce around to different topics here, and that is all. And everybody learns from everybody. Welcome. Silver Creek says, biology is a pastime of mine, and ichthyology, fish studies. Yep. I did not take ichthyology because I had to take another class that was offered at that time, but I'm familiar that fish are fish. And I have a fish in the pond that at least used to let me pet it. I haven't seen it in a while. Yes, petting fish. It was a goldfish. Probably, last time I saw it was that big, so probably like that big by now. Goldfish get pretty big. I have too many plants covering it, so I can't see any fish. Rita says, I don't think it is once the juice has been extracted. Okay. Truck 3 says, I learned years ago that if you have pets and you turn on the lights, they do not leave the lights on until they finish eating and go back to their nest when it is dark. They won't fly back. Okay. I mean, I've seen lots of mourning doves, which is a kind of pigeon. I mean, they're dove. Pigeons are a kind of dove, I should say. And a lot of their nests, they don't really care what's going on around them, and they sit there pretty well. So I don't know if the pigeons are similar. Actually, I've had mourning doves. I've had Eurasian collared doves on nests, but I haven't had any other type of pigeon. And they always sat pretty well on the nest. And when I say had, not here, like in my job, I found them nesting. Yeah. JJ says, only, you guys jump. Only have to use one of the above oils. Okay, what Verna said. But add vitamin E, which is good for skin, but it preserves the lotion. That's good. Yeah, I've used vitamin E for burn stuff, and that worked. And I just bit open capsule and put it on. That's a good suggestion. Thank you, JJ. Melissa says, can I see you in a jacket? Am I making you cold? A tank top? I don't know what that means. I'm in a tank top today. Silver Creek says, oh, snap, Warden. I don't use lights in their aviary. Luckily, they always come back. I let them out every day unless it's hunting season for dove. Well, that makes sense. They get mixed up. Yeah. JJ's going to be right back. Correct. Yeah, they are selective of what they eat and convert it to liquid for the young. Okay. So that makes sense. So it's just regurgitation. That makes sense. But it would be interesting to see what specific things they need. Yeah, Verna, goldfish will grow to the size of their pond. So if they're in a bowl, they'll grow the size of the bowl. And, my pond's pretty big. So, well, it's not huge. It's just big for a backyard pond that I dug. Yeah. Mess with their circadian rhythm. Absolutely. Verna says, had mourning doves nest in my dining room window. We watched them build the nest, lay the eggs, and raise a young. It was great education for my girls. Absolutely. And they will nest again very quickly. And they nest on the ground, which I found out in a field. They nest on the ground, they nest in trees, they nest, I mean, a whole bunch of different heights. The one on the ground was a little bit of a weird thing, but it happens. Silver Creek says pigeon are very similar to dove, same family, I believe, in taxonomy, but a bit smaller and different habits. The dove won't come back home. Yeah, so pigeons are doves. It's a type of dove, but it is, every species is different, so they do act differently than some of the like the mourning doves. But pigeon, like the pigeon in the city, their name is actually rock dove. Or rock pigeon, so that the common name has changed back and forth between rock dove and rock pigeon. Yeah. Though I have wild dove that show up here and rest on our ringneck dove area. Oh my gosh. Is ringneck dove the same as Eurasian collared dove? Because I hope it's not, because those guys are nasty. And invasive. Silver Creek says, okay, cool. Got to get video of them making the milk. They do this neck stretch thing while making it. Okay. Verna had a nasturtium. How did you like it? I love that taste. It's so good. Nasturtium is a flower. They tend to be orange, but they also come in yellows and pinks and reds. But the typical ones are orange. And they are, I guess, peppery is the flavor I would do. They're really good and to eat, and they're really spicy. And then they also are supposed to help with your immune boosting. So, yeah. And John got an egg. Awesome. Congratulations, John. Yeah. Way to go, Britta says. And someone like this. Awesome. I guess one of the quail got over the fireworks. Yeah. If your quail are not used to louder noises, that could have put a damper in things. Yep. Silver Creek Aquatics is correct, 100%. The lady knows her birds. Love it. I am a wildlife biologist and I do find birds. So that's good. Vase Place says, not much taste really, would be better if I had more. Okay. Yeah, the leaves are also edible. They taste similar to the flower, but hopefully, I mean, I wonder why it didn't have much taste, because all the ones I've had have had a lot of taste. Maybe if it's getting too much water, it might have less taste. I know that's true with herbs, is if you want them full flavored, you're supposed to pick them after they haven't been watered. That might help. Yeah. John says it's a lot bluer than they were before. Interesting. And these are the same birds before fireworks? Interesting. I do not know there's got to be some sort of chemical or something, some compound, I guess I should say, that makes the blue. And I do not know what that is. But I wonder if it got like extra built up because it wasn't laying eggs. I have no idea how that works. I just know that they are always blue if they have blue. It's called Celadon. So Feather Connections Homesteads here. Welcome, Kelly. Popping in last minute to tell you all I love you. Oh, we all love you too. JT's back. Oh, and I got my tank top. It's good. This part is a little low, which is fine. I got a large. I think I probably should have gotten a medium, because it's a unisex one. Tank tops for QuailCon and t-shirts for QuailCon is on Kelly's website. You can look up Feather Connections Homestead website, and the official one is there. And there you go. Verna says, I don't have teeth. Yeah, maybe you can make a tea out of it. That people do that too. Yeah. Silver Creek says they sell for $20 each here. I don't know what we're talking about. The The pigeons? They sell for $20 each? Oh my gosh. John says, yes, same birds. If anybody knows why Celadon eggs would be more blue after a time that they have not been laying, let John and all of us know. PJ said, love you too, Kelly. Ed says, hope you feel better soon, Kelly. Oh, are you sick? I'm sorry. This last night's live because I had family in town, so I did not get any of the news or any of the online stuff. But I hope you're doing good. Dawn says, have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us, Dawn. Have a good night. Steve says, did you all see that Kelly birthed the button quail? I did not. Kelly, that's awesome. How tiny. They are so tiny. I mean, the Japanese, the Coturnix quail are tiny anyway, but button quail, they're even tinier. Yeah. John says, I'm sorry about your lost bird. Oh, did I miss something? JJ lost a bird? Oh, I did miss something. I skipped right over a couple of these comments. It jumped. JJ says, one of my quail had a heart attack or something during the fireworks. One of my best layers. Oh, that is not fun. Yeah, I had one early on that I believe had a heart attack because the cat was trying to get at it on the other side of the hardware cloth. And it's something that happens. I'm sorry. And Kelly today, no idea why, but homesteaders don't get sick days, so gotta keep moving. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you have ginger, I would make yourself some ginger tea, and that should bump up stuff. And if you're just feeling blah, like if you're just saying just having a blah day, don't have energy, I always recommend, again, not a doctor, but I always recommend taking a nice long Epsom salt bath, because that has the micronutrients that get in through your skin. So it actually goes through your skin, and it can help you with a lot of things. People do that for depression. I'm not saying it's a cure. I'm just saying, like, it's something that can help with things. It can help your mood, brighten your mood, and all of that. So might be a long bath night for you. Hopefully. All right. So now we can go back to where I had jumped down to. Everybody saying goodnight to Dawn. Silver Creek smokes me. You know what to do when the rest of mine are gone. JJ saying congratulations to John on eggs. Yes. Yeah, it's always tough when you have eggs and then all of a sudden you don't. It's only happened twice to me. Once was when that bird had a heart attack because of the cat, and the other lady stopped laying for a few weeks. And then the other time was this winter when we had all those windstorms. There was just one storm that was tremendous and ridiculous. Yeah. And they stopped laying for, I think it was only a week and a half, but they can stop laying for 2 to 3 weeks is fairly typical if they stop laying. So be patient. Don't change anything during that time. Or if you're going to change something, change it at the beginning of that time. It's a good time to make a change, actually, if they're already stopped laying. But know that any additional changes may extend that time when they're not laying. All right. Oh, Verna put the link for t-shirts. There you go. If you're going to QuailCon, and even if you're not, you can get a t-shirt. And they are pretty cool. And it's another room, so I can't show you. Maybe I can. Manuel, you want to grab something for me?
What?
Can you grab the blue t-shirt on top of the dresser? It's folded up.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. He's going to go get it. Silver Creek says, buttons? My wife wants something fierce. Aaron's back. Had to make sure my procrastinating friend Steve had his honey. It'll be ready for him in 2 years, right? Just because he's a procrastinator. Ed, no. Adrenaline. Yeah, it could be adrenaline. The heart attack stuff. I don't know exactly how that works, but I know that mine, the one that happened with mine, I had the sandbox. So now I keep my sandbox away from the edge. Before I had it like it just happened to be tilted. I just had it in there, and it thought it couldn't get through. Thank you. It thought it couldn't get through, but it was completely fine. It should have been completely fine. It should have been able to get out the same way it went in behind there, but it didn't. So it did not do well. So here's the tank top version. This is the large size. I think I should have gone with a medium, but I'm just gonna take it in from the top. I'm just gonna, do some sewing. But that's what the tank top looks like. And there you go. Thank you. Kelly says, yes, I did hatch a button quail. It's so freaking cute. I can't stop picking it up and cuddling it. I'm sure my happy squeaks at it hurt its ears. Oh, it's going to happy squeak back at you, I'm sure. Shocks do strange things. Yep, Berna. So true. So true. Aaron and Ed. Silver Creek says $20 for the dove. That per dove. Wow. Well, I mean, it's $1 a year, right? If you say they last for 20 years, you think about that way, pretty cheap, right? The Asian collared, is that the same one that is invasive here? That sounds like ho. That's what they sound like. Manuel's laughing at me. They're terrible. The Eurasian collared. What is their name too? They have a funny name. I don't remember the scientific name ever because it's just ridiculous. Yeah, their scientific name is Streptopelia decado. I'm like, really? You named it after strep? It sounds like you have strep. Come on, bird. Sorry if I'm insulting your doves. But they have taken over here for sure in California, and they sound terrible. Anyway, I'm done bashing that bird. We can eat that bird. Aaron makes sense. Oh my gosh, you guys can have that conversation amongst yourself. Steve says, does anyone knows about what? Okay. Andy's signing off. Good night, Andy. Welcome, or thank you for coming. Everybody saying good night to Andy Rabbit. You guys are funny. I'm not talking about that. Gotta scroll up. Oh no, that sucks. I don't know what about. There you go. Oh, maybe JJ's bird. John saying good night, Andy Rabbit. And Feather Connections, Kelly says, I should mention the button quail isn't mine. Aw, I hatched them for my neighbor, but he's got yucky fertility, and it's hit or miss when I hatch them. So that's good. That's a good thing to do, is to hatch them for him. Yeah, for sure. Didn't know that about Epsom salt, but I try it. Yes, look, I have a couple videos, 2 at least videos on my channel about Epsom salt baths. I have sprained my ankles several times because I'm a female who plays volleyball. Females get sprained ankles more than males, especially in their teenage years, and especially those that are active, like playing volleyball. And so I have used it many, many times, and I actually used it on a baby bunny. You can look up Hurt Baby Bunny, and you'll find that video. And with some massages and some like little therapy with me pushing his leg, it was completely healed before we ate it. And then there was a quail. I saved 3 male quail. I just processed the rest of them. I had my 15 hens and the 3 males, and the 3 males, you have 3. Not very much genetic diversity, but there's enough, right? And one of them, I walk in there one day and it has his leg out to the side and it's hopping. Like, what did you do? You were one of the chosen few to reproduce. How are you going to reproduce with your leg out here? So I actually used Epsom salt on him as well a few times, and you couldn't even tell which one it is now. So it does really, really great things. So you can watch those 2 videos and take a bath. There you go. Try it. Let me know what happens. Verna says, Katrina, this headache is getting really bad. Going to have to wait until morning to do my upload. I need to lay down. Verna, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you. And go lay down, get like a compress or something, and put it on your head. And we will see you next time. Thank you, and I hope you feel better. Silver Creek says, question, biology. So are you a taxonomy geek, or are you more into plants, herbs, botany? My background is, so I'm an ecologist. I call myself a wildlife field ecologist. That's kind of my training, and that covers wildlife, but I know a lot of plants as well, just as an interest. And also for my job, I do know plants because of that. But I studied, when I was in my undergraduate degree, I did some research up at Heart Mountain Natural Antelope Refuge. You guys can look at this up. Let me see. Heart Mountain National Antelope Refuge. And we don't have antelope. We have pronghorn. Antelope live across the pond. So I did research there in high desert, and I actually did a bio inventory of 6,000 acres of Wyoming big sagebrush. Here's my resume. You wanted my resume? And out there, I did small mammal trapping. So like mice and voles and chipmunks and weasels. And the weasel didn't stay in. You just know it because of the smell. And this is live traps, and also trapped almost every single kind of snake out there, including rattlesnake. You know that there's a snake in the trap when you lift it up and you turn it from one side and the heavy part stays up there. That's a snake. Don't open it in your face. And then so I wrote down that stuff too. I did some vegetation stuff there for fire, looking at different fire places that had been burned before, either natural or not natural. And then I did bird point counts by sight and sound, and I helped out with the pronghorn and bighorn sheep telemetry, finding them, seeing if they're alive or not. I worked on pygmy rabbit research. That was in 2004 when they were petitioned to be listed under the Endangered Species Act. And so we were putting on these little tiny collars so that we could find them with telemetry. Found out their home range is 70 meters. That's pretty small. Certain requirements there. And if you're looking to calm down a rabbit, you use what we use, because they're teeny tiny babies, right? And they're not babies. This is an adult size, the little head of a pygmy rabbit. And we used little kid socks, and we cut off the toe part, and we would put that over them to calm them down. So if you're looking to calm down a rabbit, cover their eyes, and that calms them. So did that. And then I also, that first summer, what else did I do? I was noticing a lot of badgers. And so there's a lot of badger stuff. Oh, the other thing I did is carnivore scat collection and analysis. So I did my bird point counts on a transect in the morning, and then on the way back, I would use that transect to collect up carnivore scat. Yep, that's poop. And actually dried it, and then went through it and identified all the the stuff inside of it. We identified all of those species. I did have help with that with some some undergraduate people as well. And it's all undergraduate. And then, but I was noticing a lot of badgers out there. So I got really interested in badgers to talk to them about, what information do you have about badgers here? Which I didn't know anything about. And they're like, we don't have any information. And I also helped the National Wildlife Health Organization. It's probably a different name. They're in Madison, Wisconsin. But this was also when the West Nile was starting. And so I helped them. Did I sleep? No. I helped them with a study when they came to the refuge, and also when they came to our sister refuge nearby in Nevada, catch sage grouse, and which is a fun thing. You go out at night with a spotlight, and the one person has a spotlight and backpack generator. The protocol actually calls for rock and roll music to cover your footsteps, but the backpack generator works good because you can't hear anything. And you shake the light in their eyes, and they just sit there, and you net them, and you pick them up. So it was fun. So I helped with that. But then, so the second year, so they did blood smears. I learned how to do that. I only did one. I'm not like experienced in that, but doing blood smears. And then there was a graduate student with us that was taking, they were taking the poop, because when you catch them, they poop because they're scared. And he was analyzing that for the stress hormone. And yes, the stress hormone does happen that fast, which is why when I process animals, I try and process them. I try and calm them, let them be good, and then make that process very quick, because I know that stress hormone gets into the animal, gets into the meat very quickly if you don't do that quickly and swiftly. So anyway, so the second summer out there, so I did another internship there, and that was, I mainly looked at badger burrows and characterized where they were on the refuge in relation to burned and unburned areas in 3 different habitats, and did some studies on that. I continued the scat, I opportunistically collected badger scat and did the diet analysis on that, presented posters on that information, and a talk, I think. And then I helped out with all sorts of stuff there as well the second year. And before that, my first internship was with fire ecology, because I'm really interested in fire, and I was going to go into fire, and I decided that I don't want to accidentally burn someone's house down. So I did not do that. And then my master's is all with badgers, and I characterized reproductive habitat in California grasslands for badgers. So there's a big long answer. I at one point considered myself a mammologist, and now I consider myself a well-rounded ecologist, focusing on animals, on terrestrial animals, with a fairly decent knowledge in plants. So there you go. Did I bore anybody yet? Anybody want to hire me for a better job yet? So and that's not even the full background, but there you go. There's some background. All right. Good question. All right. Everybody's saying feel better soon, Verna. Silver Creek Aquatic says, I'm deep into aquatic and immersed plants. Yeah, so start thinking about, I know you're a little bit different category than me. Like, I focus on food, but like you can grow watercress, you can grow, there's a whole slew, you can grow marshmallow. You can do a whole slew of food plants that you can grow and incorporate into your interest, and have it be completely useful. So like, I'm not saying like the non-edible plants aren't useful, but they're more useful when you can eat them, I think. But that would be interesting for you to dive into, is the edible plants. Yeah. Steve says that's 2 pints of honey and 3 rabbit feet, so you know what to pack. Oh my gosh, Aaron's packing this weekend. Goodness. Steve says he packed in 2022. We're talking about QuailCon here. QuailCon 54 days. Don't tell Ed. All right, I gotta scroll up. You guys jumped again. I took too long telling my story. You guys really jumped. Still making packing lists. Erica says, hello, all. Finally got here. Welcome, Erica. You probably came in when I was telling a really long story of like someone asked me what biology stuff I do. Welcome. PJ says, Steve, you're never unpacked. Yep. Left my bags at the hotel this year. Oh my gosh. Being prepared. Steve's prepared. JJ says the only thing I've gotten ready for QuailCon is a cot. Been looking for one. LOL. I'm not sleeping on the ground anymore. That works. Why unpack if you have to pack back up another year? Steve, hopefully stuff isn't mildewy. Oh, air mattress is what PJ prefers. I'm going with a motel. So I have my reservations, have my car reservations, have my plane reservation. So I am set. If I was driving, I would be camping, but I'm not driving. It takes too long to get there. Kind of like Christmas tree. What? Oh, being prepared. So you're saying you have a fake Christmas tree? Aaron says, JJ, I'm too spoiled to sleep in a tent. Hotel life for me. I've done road trips with my car, and in fact, when I went to Glacier National Park Monument, whatever it is, I am glad that I was prepared to sleep in my car because because I got a pad and it fits on it folds down. The car was the only thing I could sleep in at this campsite that you had to have a hard-sided camping situation because of the grizzlies that came through. Woohoo! There you go. But it was nice because I didn't have to break camp or anything. Just start driving. All right. Ed's list is getting long. Yeah, Ed, you bringing a trailer? Steve says I camp so I don't get a speeding ticket on Saturday and again on Sunday from the motel. I did learn my lesson last year. I don't remember where I got it, but I'm going closer this time. Yeah, I had to drive like 45 minutes or something. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking cheap. Yeah. It says, good thing I have a bunch of military hard cases. There you go. Erica says, 6 out of 11 turkey eggs survived the power outage. They hatched Thursday. Awesome. Congratulations, Erica. Congratulations. Everybody's saying good job. Congratulations. Better than 0. Great job, Erica. That's actually pretty good for turkey. Yeah. Silver Creek says, oh, that's awesome. So you are fully passionate about life. I adore that. Yes, I have lots of stories. It's fun. Yes, so Steve says, don't forget your bat counting. That was all volunteer. So I've done bat trapping. That was in California. So that I did bat trapping with someone with a memorandum of understanding, which you have to have. You also have to be rabies vaccinated, which I am. I need to get it redone because my levels have dropped down from the what do they call it? Immunity. So they say you're immune, but it's dropped down like 1 point. So I have to go get a booster. Yeah. So bats. I also helped out on newt projects, the California newt. I've helped out on a lot of different things. Yeah, there's a lot. Be active. PJ saying time to sleep. Good night, PJ. JJ says that sounds really cool about Heart Mountain National Wildlife Refuge. I love nerdy stuff like that. Yes, if you guys ever plan to go out there, hit me up for where to go out there because I definitely know that place very, very well. And people drive through and they're like, I didn't see any pronghorn, and it's like, you didn't stop, did you? You stop and you look for white butts. That's how you find pronghorn. Yeah. Silver Creek says, that's so awesome. My studies have not been from campus, rather self-education on African and South American plants, as well as some Malaysian and Central American. Yeah, so that's something that there's a lot of misconception that you need a whole lot of school to know a whole lot of stuff. Most of the stuff that I know and use today is stuff that I learned in the field with other people or at work, or like when I was at Heart Mountain, I lived in the bunkhouse, and there were researchers that came through all the time, and I would just pick their brains. And sometimes I was able to go out in the field with them for part day. And like, that's how I got experience with the sage grouse stuff, and sage grouse telemetry. Also, that's another thing I did, is telemetry for sage grouse. And you can learn from people, and the idea that someone has to have a degree to know stuff is ridiculous. It does help you. It can help you focus what you're learning or how to figure out the information. But people, this is YouTube University, right? You're learning. You're learning. Now, we learn from a reputable source. I like to think I am, but definitely, check people. If something doesn't make sense, check them. Check me. Like I said, I thought that dove was white meat, and then I immediately correct myself, go, I think maybe it's dark meat. Check people, especially with medicinal stuff. Always check 3 places for medicinal stuff and mushroom stuff, and like real places, not so-and-so said. Yeah. And Silver Creek says, I have a GED. I wasn't asking to judge, was just curious of your level of passion. That's fine. You guys ask whatever questions you want. And if it's inappropriate, I won't answer it. But no, there's a lot of background, a lot of information, a lot of exposure to some things that I just find interesting and follow the path. Yeah, it's a good question. Hopefully people got some interest. As says Silver Creek, you're one better than me. That's all right. It's all right. JJ says, nothing wrong with a GED. To me, it says you didn't give up. Yep. You're good, and you're doing good things now. Erica says, we are going to be sending the goats to freezer camp tomorrow. They have caused enough damage and upset neighbors enough to sign their death warrants. Uh-oh. Did they escape? Silver Creek said, I had to drop off because I cut my hand off with a table saw, but we've got into that once. Won't go there again. There you go. That is reasons. You have reasons, and you're all healed now, so that's good. JJ's laughing at Erica. After one of my neighbor's goats ate my garden, I told them I was keeping the goat. It's the law in that area. I wasn't going to really keep it. I just wanted to see the reaction. That's a good law, actually. I was at someone's house once when some bison just showed up, and it's like, those aren't wild here. Where'd they come from? And it was from some farm down the way. That was in the Midwest somewhere. Ed says, missed it by 1 year or 1 class credit and didn't care when went right into the workforce. Yeah, and what you do from that point on, hopefully you're learning things that you need to learn, and you're good. And we all know, like, Ed looks up everything. Yeah. Oh, hang on. I gotta scroll up. Kelly says, that's awesome, Silver Creek. A lot of my education is self-taught too. You can't beat learning from hands-on experience. Exactly. And if you're interested in something, you look it up. And like, YouTube has so many opportunities right now. Like, I hope you guys are learning from me, because I learned from a lot of you guys as well. And I call it YouTube University. If something doesn't make sense, make sure you check, right? But when you have people who know things, pay attention. ask questions that you're interested in, or you just have a weird question. I'm fine with questions that are, that are trying to learn something. That's completely fine. Yeah. Ed says, you got that right, Kelly. Yeah. Hands-on is where it's at for sure. And that's what I mean, like in the field experiences, that's hands-on. And observation, being a good observer. Yeah. Silver Creek says, dang, I got caught an age cap. Back then you could not graduate after the age of 21. And with my hand accident, it would have been after that I could have gone back. Wow, that sucks. I did not know there was an age cap. Yeah, but hey, it's a good excuse. Yeah. Erica says, using my daughter's brand new car for rock climbing was the last straw. I was in the field once and we had the cows all licking the car. That was fun. It's like, can we get out without getting harassed by cattle? JJ says, I had another neighbor that had the cutest pygmy goat that would run away and move into my dog kennel. Now, I would have kept that one. Ooh. Silver Creek says, JJ, they're like little puppies. I had a neighbor with a couple as well. Yeah. Silver Creek says, not bored at all. Love the biology talk. Good. It's not even a full answer, but that's the general, the big things. Feather Connection says, it's really bad reception out of nowhere over here, so I'm gonna skedaddle. Love you all. Can't wait to see your face at QuailCon. I am happy to see you at QuailCon soon, Kelly. Erica says, plus they tore up my poultry pens and I lost 2/3 of my birds to hawks and wild cats before I could get repairs done. Oh my gosh. Yes. Silver Creek. Watercress for food. Marshmallow for food too. There's a celery that you can grow on the edges for food. There's what else grows in water, guys? So again, you do have to watch out for your heavy metal content if you're growing food in there. I mean, you could grow cattails for food, but I don't know that you would want to. But you can eat tubers. There are other tubers that you can eat. Trying to think of what they were called. I don't know. Taro can grow in boggy areas. I don't know if it can grow in wet areas, but taro can grow. You're gonna have to look that one up. But yeah, start thinking that direction, because why not have this beautiful area and also grow food? Yeah. Oh, goats are troublemakers, JJ says. Yes, we had on the news a couple years ago, so here people use goats for fire control, so people don't so things don't start on fire. They use it for weed control and fire control. They just have the shepherd is out there or not out there sometimes. But these guys broke out and they were just going around town in San Jose, not downtown, but in the neighborhood. And they were eating everybody's bushes and their flowers and all that. And they had to replace all those plants that the goats got into. But it was pretty funny. Our news video. Yeah. Silver Creek says, okay, you've piqued my interest. Gonna look into that. I know things like Bacopa carolina is mint family and edible, and duckweed, as long as it's grown under watch of heavy metal absorption. Yes, definitely gonna look into that more. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah. Ed says we all need to get rooms in the same hotel. Yeah, that it would be nice if there was like a block. I know people do that for events sometimes, that they do a block, but I don't think that happened this year. Might be something for years, for other years. Yeah. Syracuse says, I grow and sell plants, so now I'm curious what all I have that's edible of the hundreds I have. And that's something there's a lot of plants that are edible, but I would definitely, again, check more than one source. And if it's an old source, check a more recent source. And sometimes I check WebMD for interactions. And that, I don't look at it for like everything, but if there's something that's new to me, like especially if it's an herb, if it's new to me, I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's some thing that I should check here. And they don't have everything, but they do have some things. Um, that's all I check on WebMD. I don't try and self-diagnose junk. Yeah, and Silver Creek, then you can have like an edible package, right? You can have like, hey, these are plants that you can grow and eat, and that would be probably a new customer base for you. Yeah. JJ says, I grow water spinach without water, which you have to make sure it's okay to grow in your state. Oh, is it invasive? It gets too cold here to worry about. Okay. Oop. Hang on. Yes, he can grow water lettuces in my state. Haven't tried them yet or sold them because they're not that sought after, but I may try it out. Yeah, water lettuce, I don't know if you can eat that. Can you eat that? Excuse me. Water lettuce I have bought and I grew, and it overwinters here if it's underneath the shade. This last winter it didn't overwinter, but I do have water hyacinth that overwintered, and I have in the past sold that on Craigslist, just because it gets so thick in there. Right now there's some sort of invasive plant in there that I just need to pull out and give to the animals. I tried it, they ate it, so I figured okay. JJ says the only thing I learned of use from college was business math because I'm really bad at math. Yeah, I wish I would have taken some business courses. I did not, but you know. Silver Creek says mostly Anibus, Echinodrois, and Ludwigia. I know what Ludwigia is. What is the common name for that? Because I can't think of it. Horsetail is also medicinal. You could do horsetail. It's edible and medicinal. Steve says, "Oh my gosh, I wish keeping free livestock as a rule here. My farmers' cows are always getting loose." I know someone who had a mama cow that would always jump the fence into the alfalfa pasture next door, or alfalfa field next door, and they would always let her back into the field to her calf every morning. She just needed some more nutrition. JJ says, check with the county, Steve. They have to do like damage to your crops or something. But then again, that was 35 years ago. Yeah. Silver Creek says, I love bison. I have a weird connection with large animals. Got to be within inches of bison giving birth. Oh, it was legal. Me being there. But nothing. Oh, it wasn't. Uh-oh. I don't know if you're saying it is or it isn't. That's okay. But nothing's stops passion. They're gentle giants. JJ says, my marshmallow grows on dry land. It's about 10 feet tall now. Awesome. I grew it in my pond one year on the edge, and it did okay, and it didn't reseed itself. So I was hoping it would reseed itself and establish. That was a few years ago, though, and we do get colder. I think it grows in colder areas, too. Silver Creek says, this was in a past life, though. I haven't snuck into Nature Center for a decade. Oh, my gosh. You're admitting things here. Also, don't condone doing that. Yeah, because they can be dangerous. They can do dangerous. Don't do like me, he says. Oh, boy. He says, we tried a block of rooms in 2021. It wasn't all good. They didn't really get a good rate, and it wasn't up to par in cleanliness. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a really hard time with like finding places that were non-smoking. I had a hard time. Last time I ended up at a place that they said it was non-smoking, and it was obviously not. And it's just, to me, that's nasty, and I don't want to spend money to stay in some place that's obviously, that way. For some people, that's fine. Some people, who smoke, that's fine. But I don't think they should call us a non-smoking room unless it actually is, and doesn't share like air ducts with the neighboring rooms. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Silver Creek says, I grow tomato and potatoes in my aquariums. Awesome. But I grow a mass of plants in them. I have entire shed full of fish tanks and a plant specific, maybe, pond for them as well as for growth and inflorescence. Okay. It says, yeah, see if some YouTuber was vocal about it. I don't know. I wasn't there that first year. JJ says, water spinach or cabbage is edible. It is different from water lettuce. Okay. It can be found in Asian stores and put into water to root. That is a good idea because there are some things that you can root from the store, and that works. You have to look at them individually, because like lemongrass can do that, but some of them have the roots cut off, so that's never going to grow. But if it has little root nubs, it would grow. Silver Creek says, I'll check it out. I grow Malabar spinach in aquariums as well. So that's right up my alley. Awesome. Dude, that's genius. An edible package. There you go. There you go. You're like, hey, I'm selling these things. It's good for you. JD says, cool at Silver Creek. This is first year of growing Malabar. It is simple. Yeah, or slimy. It is slimy. It is slimy. I grew it 1 year and then it keeps coming back. I think only one came up this year though, for some reason. But I didn't use it a whole lot because I'm not that big a fan of the mucilaginous texture. I was thinking I might try drying it, but there's really very little right now. It's only this tall and it's one plant right now. Maybe more will come up. I don't know. I was not as impressed as what everybody talks about it, just because I don't like that texture. Yeah. So, Rikuk, you gonna give me some credit for that idea? They get $1 or something. Silver Creek says is laughing at JJ. Yeah, it is. Did you get the field heat off it first before you eat it, or do you eat it right off the vine? That makes sense that you might have to cool it first, huh? Just taste the leaf off the vine. It grows in partial shade. Yeah, it might be better cooled. Creeping primrose. Okay. Yeah, Libigia. I knew that. I just didn't realize what it is. Thank you. They are more dense if you get the field heat off, but still dense for sure. Yeah, thick. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, it's not the texture for me. All right, guys, we have not done the topic of the day. So, topic of the day, winter. I know it was 89 today, but winter. So this is one of my seed things. I got it at Michael's. It's for photos or cards or whatever, but I use them for seeds, and I don't even know which one this is. This is probably not the one I want. It's not. But what I want you guys to do is open another tab. Leave this one open so you can see us and hear us. Open another tab and type in first frost date. Let's see. First frost date. That's what I want you guys to type in another tab, because that is when your first frost date is. And we are going to be starting to think about seeds. And this isn't it either. Okay. All right. Let's see. This is one that I've grown a lot. This is a Oregon sugar pod 2. That's one, if it will focus. That's one seed packet that I have used before, or seed type. And let's see what it says. I didn't look at this first. Okay, it doesn't tell you. Some varieties are suitable for winter gardening. See our winter catalog. I guess you got to look further. But basically, you're going to want to sow some of these, so many weeks before the first frost or after first frost or whatever. So once you have that date, you will be able to go through your seeds and see when you should plant them. And I wasn't prepared, but I have another one to open up. And when you plant that, is going to depend on when your first frost date is. And you just count the days backwards. So you can even just say days between July 10, 2023 and whatever your first frost date is. Autumn planting, yes. Yep. Getting ready as well is what Silver Creek says. Oh, let me go up. Let me go up. And let's see. So JJ says, love the seed container. Yes. So each individual ones here. And they have all these different seeds and all of that. I'm trying to find my winter seeds. I'm finding spring. Oh, maybe kale. Kale is probably a winter one, right? And Swiss chard. Let's see what Swiss chard says. So here's a Swiss chard. When to sow outside. Recommended 2 to 4 weeks before your average last frost date. So that's for the spring. And when soil temperature is at least 40 degrees Fahrenheit, ideally 75 to 90. So as late as 2 months before first fall frost can also be sown in fall. So 2 months before first fall frost, that is 8 weeks. So let's see who has the ability to grow that. I don't even know. I think mine's in November. So type in your zip code and first frost date. So my first frost date is November 20. I was right. And so now I can type in Google how many days until November 20. Oops, and not hit that key. Hold on. November 20, 2023. 133 days. So I can still sow this plant because, there we go. I can still sow this plant until 2 months before. And what is, let's see. Is everybody doing this with me? I'm not just talking to you guys. So we're going to say 2 months is, let's say 8 weeks. 8 times 7 is 56, and I have 133 days left. So 133 minus 56. I have 77 more days that I can plant this crop. And you can plant it that close. And this chard will actually, in my area, chard will actually do well in the fall here. So that's one. We have, here's another one. It's a kale. I'm not going to go through everything. But best grown in frost of spring or fall. So this one likes frost. Direct seed or transplant 2 to 4 weeks in spring or 8 weeks in fall before frost dates. Prefers rich soil. So this is one that you can do, again, 2 months before. So right now, you're going to start thinking about things and start looking at what you want to grow, and then look at those dates and see if that's something that's doable for you. So what do you guys want to grow this fall? Let me know. Yeah, so here's another one. Here's a celery. It's a pink celery. And I grew this one year. Start seeds indoors 8 to 12 weeks. So 8 to 12 weeks is quite a bit out ahead of last frost date. So we're talking 8 to 12 weeks. That's 7 times 12 or 7 times 8. And that's how many days out. So I can be starting this here pretty soon. So what I want you guys to do is go through your seeds, and maybe by next week we can kind of share what we're planting for our fall gardens. That'd be a good topic next week if I remember. Somebody remind me. But go through your seeds and see when you need to plant things. Put it on the calendar, and so you know to plant them. Yeah. And again, JJ, I got these from Michael's. You can probably get them online somewhere, but they're pretty cool because you can take each one of these out, and then these open up. They have their own little clasp, and take them out. I like them. 1 Acre Homestead, I think, is who I saw that on. It was on a YouTube channel. I think it was her. I haven't watched her very much, but that's where I saw it. Very great idea. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Silver Creek says autumn planting. We're getting ready as well. Yes. Steve's is October 28. JJ says I'm getting ready to harvest my first baby watermelon. Yum. Awesome. I have a green tomato. And we're already talking about fall. Ed says each winter on average, your risk of frost is from November 19th through March 26th for Virginia. I can't say that. Virginia Beach, Virginia. That's good. That's good. Good. And JJ had a first tomato. Yay. I haven't had mine yet. JJ says Center Ohio says October 20, but really usually closer to the 30th. Yeah, and so these are estimates. It's just for planning purposes. And then when you put things out and bring them in and all that, just look at your weather, your 10-day forecast to see what more accurately will happen. Last year was like November. Yeah. But it'll get close, especially if you have to plant something for transplant, 8 to 12 weeks out. Now's the time to think about that. Silver Creek says carrots do amazing through winter. If you let your carrots stay in the ground through a freeze, you will have the sweetest natural carrots you've ever tasted. Yes, sweet and juicy, homegrown carrots. The freeze does wonders on them. Yeah, it also does that for beets and a lot of root vegetables, actually. JJ saying thank you for the heads up. Silver Creek says November 14 to 21 here for frost date. Good. But we usually don't get a real freeze till almost February here in Texas. Yeah, so it's good to know these things. JJ says my experiment this year for me will be a cold box. Good luck. Good luck. That is a good idea. Silver Creek says that's our joke here. Texas has 2 seasons, summer and February. When I grew up in Oregon, the 3 seasons of Oregon is summer, winter, and road construction. And if you live there, you know what I'm talking about. Erica says supposedly last frost date is October, or first frost date is what it would be, not last. Is October 31, but I've seen it wait until December to get cold. Yep. Ed says I have like 10 green cherry tomatoes. Finally, now wait to ripen. Nice. Good. All right, you guys all found your frost dates. That's good. I just wanted to do that and take you through that exercise, because if I say, hey, you should do this, that's one thing. But if I do it with you, you're going to do it. Or you're going to be like, what is she doing? Maybe I should do it. Buster says, I'll try that on carrots. Thanks, Silver Creek. Yeah, I think next time I plant carrots, I'm going to try the board method, because I have not been successful. I used to be very successful at it and then flooded or really dry. Yeah. So that's something that I need to do again, because fresh carrots is so good. So carrots, radishes will be good during that time. Radishes are very quick. remember to harvest them. Not like I forgot this last time. Like, oh, that's a thing just over there. I don't know where it is. I should put it on a calendar. Okay, I gotta fix the light, otherwise it's gonna fall over. Oh, it can stay there. All right, Ed says if the birds or squirrels do not eat them first. Yeah, there are green varieties of tomatoes that if you have critters eating the red ones, they might leave alone. There's some good varieties out there. Now, I did plant heat tolerant varieties, and we are just now getting into the heat, which is unusual, which I'm fine with. So we'll see what happens with them. Yeah, I'm excited to see how they taste because they're all new varieties. I didn't plant any familiar varieties this year. JJ says Sow and Tare is such a good teacher. Thank you. I'm glad that you think this. Erica says that's what I meant. Yes. Oh yeah, the first frostbite. Yeah, I figured you did. Truck 3 Warden says parsnips are best after a frost. Also, yes, I have not grown parsnip. I have seeds. I have not grown parsnip, but I should look when they are supposed to be grown. Because they have a long growing season. I mean, they take a while, I think. Yeah. JJ says radish is so good when they grow under the snow. That makes sense. I don't have snow here, but that makes sense. Yeah. So definitely start thinking about things. And if you don't know what you can grow, the things that generally fit in with a spring garden generally fit in with a fall garden. So things like the lettuces, the bok choy, the kale, all of those kind of greens, chard, and then things like carrots and radishes and that category of thing. And then just starting some of these other more water content ones like the celery, because they're going to get a little bit more watery, depending on where you are, because they may not produce until, if it freezes, it might freeze too much. But things like kale, broccoli, if you have a good season for that, broccoli is something you can do in the fall. And those are things that you can do either spring or fall or both. Now, I didn't do a spring garden this year because it was just raining all the time. And I thought the seeds were going to get molded, and they probably did rot. Peas are another thing that you can do. So these are things that, if you don't know what to do, the fastest thing to grow is probably radishes. If you haven't grown anything before, radishes are super easy. And their turnaround time is like a month. So, and you can sow some every day if you want, or you can sow some every week, so that you don't have to plant them all at once. Yeah. And JJ says they are sweet and crisp, not peppery. The radishes. Yeah, and there's different varieties. There's different varieties too that have different flavors. So, yeah. I haven't grown the daikon radish, but daikon radish is supposed to be really good. And that also brings nutrition from the bottom. It's a dynamic accumulator, so it brings nutrition from the bottom up into the leaves. So you could even use the leaves in your compost and bring all that nutrition in there. I believe you can also eat them, so you could do that as well. This whole side of the house, by the right on the house next to the walkway, we dug down. It's been a few years now, but dug all the way down past. So my house is stucco, and stucco is known for sucking up water. And this house is built in 1954, and it was built really, really well, except that the stucco goes about that far below the surface of the ground. And that means that if we water there, then it can suck it up. And there was a planter box, took that out against the house. But what that means is that we dug it out and painted this rubberized material. I don't remember what it's called, but it's for this, on that and the foundation. And then repainted the house and put the soil back in. So that is good to go as far as watering against the house. If you have stucco, you generally don't want to water against the house without some sort of protection. because that does kind of act spongish and do that. So yeah. JJ says you can eat their green seed pods too. Yes, and there is a wild radish out here. In fact, I just showed a client that they could eat that the other day, like a week ago, I think, week and a half ago. I'm like, oh yeah, you can eat that. He goes, what? I go, here. I got one for me, one for him, and he's like, this is good. It tastes like a radish. I'm like, it is a radish. There are some types of radishes that you eat the seed pod and not the actual root. And one of them I grew, it's been several years now, but it was really good. It's called rat tail radish. And I don't remember if that's one word or two or hyphenated, but rat tail radish, if you catch it before they go hard and you eat them when they're green, they're very good. And they're called rat tail radish because the pods get like that long. They're skinny with a bunch of seeds and they get like that long. And they're very good. I tried pickling them and it didn't really work out, but they were good fresh. So that would be something to grow. If you're limited in space, that's more of the type that you would want to grow because you get more in a limited area. So like if you're trying to grow radishes in like a green stalk, like I have, I would recommend doing like rat tail radish where you have one plant or a couple plants and it goes and it flowers and it has all of these seed pods because you're going to get more bang for your buck, out of that space with that kind of radish than a root radish, unless you're, married to the idea of having a root radish. So yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So, anyway, I want to share that with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed my little bio talk. And if you have other questions or other things that you want to know about that kind of stuff, I don't mind sharing that. My thesis is online. It's actually linked on my website. Here's the website. There's the website right there. And it's linked on my website if you want to read about badgers and all that. It's my thesis. Totally fine if you don't want to read it. Yeah. All right. So we talked about a lot of different things, and my light just fell. Hang on. All right. We talked about a lot of different things. And I think we're going to... Can you put this up, please? Thank you. I think we're going to head out here pretty soon unless other people want to talk about some things. But I hope you enjoyed the Buster says, thanks for the live. It was very educational. Good. Hopefully it was fun as well. Yeah, I like to share information, and then I hope you guys like to share information. I know we got some good information from everybody today on the different topics. Yeah. All right, guys. Anything else before we go? Always fun, Ed says. Always fun. That is my goal. Education through fun. JJ says, thank you, Sow and Tare community. I'm very motivated again now. Good. And also, if you have not, I don't have the link right handy, but Sow and Tare. So if you have not already joined the Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group, go ahead and join that. We have been continuing discussions that we have on these live. People bring up topics, or they might see an article that they want to link. And I think it's pretty helpful. And the more people that join it, I think the more conversations we can have that are pretty much continuations of what's going on these lives. I think the topics that people are interested in are topics that other people will be interested in that maybe didn't get to the live, or like some people know things about certain things and they can attach sources and stuff. I just think it's a really great place for you guys to go and do that. Make sure you answer the questions and accept the rules, and we will be doing fun stuff. So, All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming and being involved and having fun. And we will see you next week on Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And your homework is to look through your seeds and mark things on your calendar. How about that? Homework time. All right. Enjoy the evening, and thank you for watching. Have a good night.